Hi. So thank you. My name is Aideen, and thank you to everyone for joining me on a Saturday night when I'm sure you have lots of other things to be doing. And here I am in my house wearing makeup and a dress and in a very tidy room. This room is actually the room that I do all my packaging. So my husband was absolutely delighted that I tidied it up for this live launch. So I'm really excited to share these paintings with you. I call the collection Sow-win, which is the old Irish word for Halloween, but it actually predates it. And I'm really proud of the work, and I want to share it with you and tell you a little bit about it and a bit about me. So thank you to everyone who's joining. I really appreciate it. I hope you've got a glass of something nice, and thank you for skipping the news. There's a lot going on at the moment, so it's looking really good. It's one more reason to celebrate. I did have a glass myself earlier on, but I maybe shouldn't have. But I'll have another one afterwards. So my name is Aideen Glynn, and I'm a self-taught artist. I didn't go to art college. I actually tossed a coin the night I had to decide between going to art college or going to UC to study literature. And I was 17 at the time. It was a very grand decision, and I declared that if I wasn't going to go to art college, I would never paint again. And I didn't paint again for a really long time, but there was always, I suppose, something missing. And I was busy college. I had an amazing time, and then got married and had kids and work and all of that. And life is busy, as I know it is for all of you as well. And I remember I used to have this notice board over my desk, and I used to always write the word creativity, like make space for creativity. And I suppose that was always missing, and no amount of baking was going to fulfill that. And it's busy when you've got young children. It's busy. I have teenagers now, so maybe there's a little bit more time. But there's something about painting that when I paint, I'm completely myself in a way that I am nothing else in my life. I'm not a wife. I'm not a daughter. I'm not a mother. I'm just completely me, and it's all from inside me. I hope it makes sense. So these paintings, anyway, I'm going to share with you are the Sow-win collection. And Sow-win is all about this time of year, and the ancient Irish people believed in celebrating the division between the lighter part of the year and the darker part of the year, and they celebrated over quite a long celebration. And then of course the Christian traditions hijacked it, and then also Halloween is a modern day version of it. But they believed it was the time of the year when the portal between their world and the other world of spirits was at its thinnest, and they could travel between them. So it's quite fascinating. And my work is quite abstract, but I'm really influenced by the colours I see around me. And the last few months, all those sort of autumn colours were creeping into my paintings. And even though my work is quite colourful and quite abstract, I actually usually use only about 4 colours, maybe 5. And I don't normally paint with red and orange at all, but they needed to be painted. And even though my work is abstract, it's really interesting. Trees started coming in everywhere in these paintings. All these shapes, these tree-like shapes started to come in. And when I was reading about Samhain, I also read that they viewed certain trees as sacred and as sort of like portals into this kind of magic realm where they could connect with the other world. And when you see the autumn trees that were around, you could see why they would consider them magic and special, because they're just incredible. So let me just show you the work. Thank you to everyone who's joining. Oh, by the way, there were lots of questions about certain paintings when I was posting them, when they were work in progress up in my studio. And I thought the fairest thing would be just to release them all to my mailing list at the same time, which is what I did. Now they're all, after this, they're all live on my website, and I have a launch discount for all of you lovely people if you want to buy one of them. And the code is Sow-win, which is SAMHAIN, and that gives you 10% off any painting. The prints aren't up yet because I'm doing everything myself and it takes a long time, but I will get the prints up maybe tomorrow or Monday, but I'll let you know when they're up. I'll put a message up. So let me just turn this around and show you the first painting. I'm much more comfortable when it's not my face. So this painting is called The Dreaming Tree. So if you can see, this is a tree-like shape that started to kind of come into the painting at these incredible autumn colours. Now these paintings were all oil paintings that I started at the end of 2019 and beginning of 2020, and then kind of abandoned into what I call my graveyard. And most of this year I was painting with acrylics, but they were kind of beckoning me, I suppose, and I returned to them the last few months, adding new layers and new colours, and they just started coming together with these new colours. So this to me is suggestive of a tree. These are the kind of the roots, if you can see, it's like scratch-like marks. So oil and cold wax allows you to paint many layers. So these paintings might have like 100 layers, maybe even more. And there's incredible texture. It holds texture, and I think it makes it almost seem like it's 3D. I don't know if you can see this incredible texture here. So this is the main part of the tree, and it's oil and cold wax. There's also some pigment, and I love this tree. So the name, The Dreaming Tree, is also a nod to, well, I suppose it's also, well, I think of dreams. It is a dream-like tree. So it is, I suppose, like a landscape. This is one of the ones I painted the sides. Very proud of my painted edges. Now this painting actually sold to a lovely collector from the preview, but it will be available as a print. And I love it. It's a stunning piece. So that is The Dreaming Tree. Now this one here, this is the one, this is called The Land Was Washed Clean. And this is about when I was going for my walks. You know when you go for a walk and there's rain and dew and you see the colours, and the colours are just gleaming with the richness of the water. They're like jewel-like. And they're also, so the blue started coming in, this is a blue I wouldn't normally use, but it's, there's incredible skies we had, like these really, I mean, it was the most exquisite autumn. So this is a much more, I suppose, serene piece. And it's kind of suggestive of water and, again, autumn. And I was really happy. This is the painting, for those of you who've been following me, that I did a time lapse of how it all went wrong and I reworked it. But I just came together when I added this blue section, and I moved it around many times. But I really love it. I think it's very calm. Again, there's lots and lots of layers. There's a contrast in this piece between the layers and the textures, and then this sort of serene, calm blue section. And it's all that kind of warm autumnal colours. So this painting is still available. I love it. It's about 50.5 by 76 centimetres. That's that one. Now I've got a little lamp here. I'm going to turn it around with me, so I'm just going to be bringing my own light with me, because the last time I did a show in my living room, my dining room, it was still bright. So this is called Sow-win. This is very much, now that light is too bright, just trying to get it right. If you can see the colours. This, I've been looking at this red tree outside my window every morning, and it was green tree and it became red, and it's all about that tree. And again, you can see this texture and layers, and it's all about, I suppose, how I imagine that tree at nighttime, maybe rain or nighttime. I'm sorry, the light is not fantastic here at all. Let's see if I can get that better so you can see it. Doing things with that maybe a little bit better, but there's like a lot of colour here, and then it's really, actually I'll move the painting, that'll be the best thing. I think that's better. You can see the layers of the rain or the nighttime view, and then this glowing, intense glowing gem-like tree. And I just love the energy. I don't know if you can see here, but the sections, I work in layers and I work quite slowly, but this was working quite fast to get that movement and the energy of the tree and the rain and the night all coming together. So that is Samhain number 1. This painting is sold as well from the preview, but it will be available as a print. So just to show you as well, I sign my paintings at the back. This is how I sign them. So it's Samhain number 1, it's the Samhain collection, and dated and signed. I don't tend to sign the front because, to me, oh, that looks better there, you can see it better there. It would distract. Now, I have one person asked me to sign the front, so I did, but I actually don't think it's necessary. I do provide certificates. There's a nice piece as well, that's left from the Moth Stories collection. And then this is The Singing Tree. So this title is a nod to the Singing Horseman, I suppose, from Jack Yates in the National Gallery. I love his work. And again, there are so many layers of paint here, and it gives it this incredible rich history. I suppose I think of painting a little bit like archaeology. You're building up layers, and then this spat is I suppose about autumn and the leaves departing. And I was just thinking about the trees, that it's like as if they're waiting for this moment when they're there with this incredible colour, and that moment is so fleeting and so ephemeral and so beautiful, and then it's gone. So it's about my record of that. So I love this. That's The Singing Tree, and it's signed at the back as well. So that is also sold, but will be available as a print. So it'll be a square print. Okay, so then that's the passage, which I love. We have it hanging here permanently. This is Samhain number 2, which I'm really, really happy with. Again, this one took a lot of work to get right, but it was done earlier, so see the earlier autumn, it's got so many layers and texture, and there are some beautiful passages here. I'm just going to show you. You can see all these layers and these marks that are almost like little twigs or branches. Like when I walk, I'm always looking at shapes in nature. And oh God, I love that shape there. I love this section here. We've got the pink and the green together, and the shading. So again, it's sort of suggestive of maybe like a tree trunk perhaps, or that light and shade. Someone messaged me saying it reminded her of how you see all the colours through trees when you squint your eyes, and that's exactly it. It's all about, it's a landscape really, an abstract landscape. Oh, there's another section here. I'm going to show you this. Look at this detail here. Love it. Love this. So this is Samhain number 2, and that's 60 by 90 centimeters, and that is still available. So it's a nice big piece. Look at this texture here. It's quite soft. So really, really happy. I'm really happy with this work. I just feel it's moving in a different direction. So then the last ones to show you here, I'm just going to move my light. You wonder what the sound is. Oh my goodness. So this is Samhain number 3, and this is again kind of suggestive of, a forest, an autumn palette, or like that's what I viewed it. But if you look at it here, it almost looks 3D. It almost looks as if you could walk into the forest. And yeah, very happy with this. And a lovely lady bought this today for her dad. Isn't that amazing? Her dad fixed her car and wouldn't take any money, so she's bought him a painting instead. Now this is on, just to show you, this is on a panel, gessoed panel, so it's actually just on a piece of wood. This is what a cradled panel looks like a kind of tray. I like painting on wood sometimes because I paint so many layers. Wood is more robust than canvas. It's different. and this is going to be framed. So this is sold, but it will be available as a print as well. And then this is another, I love this. Again, this is the singing tree too. So these are all of these trees that are appearing. And just to show you all the texture, this is like where there are, I don't know, hundreds of layers, some of these paintings. Like there's so many colours underneath it. For those of you who follow me, I had a reel where I showed drips. This is the painting with the drips, so you can see how different it was and how much paint went into it. But I think all that history gives it this energy and a softness. So this is interesting. It's a colour. These are colours I wouldn't normally paint with, so you can see all the layering and the history of this tree that emerged. It all made sense. Again, this is on wood, and this I am going to get framed. So these little paintings here are all being framed because they're on wood. So this is the one I have that is framed to show you what it looks like. I get a lot of questions about framing. So this is it. It's a gorgeous frame, and I think it really sets off the painting really well, really contemporary. So when I say framing, white frame, this is the frame I always go for, the same one. I got it done locally in Cork, in Douglas, with Be Framed. So this one is available, okay? So they're not all sold. This is Samhain number 4, and it's got beautiful. This is a different colour palette. It's kind of like navy and orange, and then there's this lovely texture. Let me just move it here so you can see it better. I think the light is a bit funny. That's better. You can see the texture. Incredible texture you get with oil and cold wax, and that translucency, and I think like I could almost step into the world of this painting. You know, it's suggestive of like night or dawn, or again it's like a real landscape, and I love this texture here. And then there's just a hint of orange. So this is 30 by 30 centimeters, a really nice painting, and a very different palette. You can see, actually you can just see there all the rich colours that are underneath it. So it's layered with colours, and I think gives it that vibrancy. So this is the singing tree number 5, and this will be framed. I'm just going to bring it over here to the light. That looks. Love this one. It's got that kind of magenta and pink, and I just love that red over the green tree or bush. And then these markings here, again, like they're suggestive of branches. If you can see them there, like these kind of scratching marks that I made. So I love about cold wax is you can make little marks like this, and it holds this history of all those marks and all these layers. Beautiful. So I think you can really, phones are great, so you can show the detail like that. So this is on wood, and this will be framed the same way as the one I just showed you, and this is also still available. Lovely, nice little square 30 by 30 centimeters, which is a nice size painting. Yeah, love these colours. And this is another little autumn tree, the singing tree number 3. Yeah, I'll come over here to the light and see if you can see it better. So again, it's sort of suggestive of a tree or wind or weather, and that movement of the trees, you know, they're shedding their leaves, and again I've got all these little kind of tiny thread-like scratch marks that for me they're suggestive of all those. I'm really fascinated by roots and branches and those organic shapes. And you can see the movement of the pigment that I moved across there. It's like the wind. I love this as well. It's like a warm, and then it's got that incredible blue, those beautiful blue skies we had. This will be framed as well. So they'll all have the same white frame as this, so you're just going to have to imagine them. And this is the last one. This is the baby. It's the singing tree number 4, 25 centimeters by 25 centimeters. Again, that palette and the mark, kind of the magentas and the reds moving up to the, what I think is like the tree, and those kind of oranges and umbers. And again, look at these scratch marks. Look at these thread-like marks of trees or roots. Love this is one, and it's on canvas and it will be framed. So they will all have, just imagine they'll have this frame like this. It'll look amazing. That white frame, it will really, really pop, and it'll really finish it off very well. These are just a few. Oh yes, a lot of people are interested in this painting, so I brought it out here. It's the one Cleana has, and just to show you, the fine art prints are amazing. You know, they look exactly the same. It's absolutely incredible how it holds all that texture and all the detail. And here's the original that I have. And these are some paintings that are left from the Moss Stories collection, which is so much greener now, isn't it? So much greener than the current work. So interesting. These are some of my lovely business cards that I give to everybody who buys a painting. And I want to show you also the, actually this looks better here. This is a better angle for that painting. Isn't it lovely? Love it, love that colour. And this is poor Doris. Doris got wet and she's wearing her little towel. She's having a little sleep here beside me. Oh yeah, I love this too. This is also from the Moss Stories. It's about twilight, and I just want to show you, if I can get a light, the texture. The texture in this is just incredible. It's probably the first time I used that technique. I'm trying to get a good enough light. It's about nighttime, and about when you go from transition to daytime to nighttime, and you get all these incredible colours that are held in the land. They emerge. So I want to show you how good the prints are, because this is the print I'm giving away this month. So this is the original painting which I have. So you can see, this is the original painting. Now in this case, the print is actually bigger, which is actually, I love that sometimes. Here's the print. Look, the quality is incredible. Every mark is there. Isn't it just amazing? It's on a very special fine art paper. And then I sign them. But the quality is, like you can see, this is it's my grandmother's note, but Dundee cake instead of Christmas cake. And cook at 180 degrees, Xmas cake, and then this is a little bit of her recipe book. So that was kind of, I love using collage as kind of buried treasure. I've had a lot of questions about prints, how I package them. I send them in tubes like this. I just want to turn around and chat to you a little bit now. Oh. Hi. I send them in tubes like this. People are asking me about framing of prints. I don't get them framed. I frame paintings. The reason why I don't frame the prints is the prints are archival. They are museum quality and they have to be framed under glass. And for me to ship glass is really expensive, and it's almost impossible to get insured. So for the moment, I'm not framing prints, but I'm happy to make recommendations. So I frame them. This is how they go in these I put tissue, and then I put big tubes like this, or the smaller ones go in sturdy envelopes, and then you bring it to your framer. He'll do it for you. This is another one as well. This one is also very autumnal, isn't it? The Healing Stones. It was one of the last ones I did from the Moss Stories collection. It's like a transition into this collection. And somebody bought this as a print, a big print. It looked amazing, actually big. So that's the collection. Thank you for watching. And they're all up on the website now for everybody. And there's a discount code, which is Sow-win. I've actually written it on my bio for 10% off. And the other thing I want to say as well, there was lots of questions about Christmas orders. So at the moment, I'm doing the painting, I'm doing the packaging and the web maintenance. So I'm probably going to have a date where I can't take any more orders for Christmas. That will probably be quite early in December, because also the printer I use for my fine art printing is a local man as well. So he's this one person operation. So just bear that in mind. Now I do have e-vouchers, which are fine because they can be given last minute, but that's just something to bear in mind, that if you are thinking of a gift, please think about doing it in November, not in December, because I would say maybe I'll have to cut off like 5th of December, so quite early, that anything after that I can't guarantee I will deliver it in time, because packaging takes me quite a long time. So maybe I'll figure out a faster way of doing it in the future, but it's great. And for me, this is my dream, and I think you're all fantastic for sharing in it with me. And I want to say as well that I really appreciate all the amazing comments and lovely things people you all write, and that you like my work. It's very validating, and it just helps me with my confidence in my work. And also to say, I get lots of comments from people saying that they used to paint, they love painting, but they don't paint anymore, and maybe have a go. I've recorded a few live painting sessions, and they're uploaded permanently now, and maybe paint. And I'm happy to answer any questions and to share any knowledge I have. So that's it. They're the last few paintings, and I'm really proud of them. And thank you very much for watching. And goodbye. Have a nice evening, and I'll chat to you all soon. Any questions, you can give me a DM or an email. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice evening. Bye.